Millionaire Logistics. Hope you guys have been enjoying our weekly Forex market analysis and Forex trading strategies that we've been sharing on the channel. I urge you guys to look out for our weekly Forex market analysis coming up, over the weekend, right, for the next week, right? It's going to be fun and it's going to be awesome. Meanwhile, let's look at the previous analysis we shared. Step by step, we're going to break down how we actually took the odd JPY trade, right? And that was from the last time we shared this analysis. So just to show you guys what I meant, like this was Millionaire Logistics published on TradingView on April 30th, right? For the coming week, that was on the 2nd of May. And we actually did not share any content for past the previous week, guys, because we actually shared forex trading strategies, right, on our channel, guys, and okay. So for the coming week, guys, we're going to be sharing the weekly forex market analysis. Sorry, we've been quite behind schedule and all, because activities and all, swing trading, while we actually wait for the trade to have to play out, and quite some other things that we've been on to, guys. Okay, so without wasting much of your time, what we want to do on this content is very simple, right? This is the odd JPY trade. As you can see, smashed TP, smashed, it just happened like magic. So right here, this is the, the screenshot what we shared on TradingView, and you can actually check the analysis, right? And we put here that this is a high probability entry 2 and a high probability entry 1, and you can very much see how the chart, kind of actually respected. These are a high probability entry 1, and the trade's actually doing well, and it was already smashed TP level, guys, as you can see here. So next thing, we're going to wait for the market to actually get to a level somewhere. When the market closes, we shall look at that analysis again. But then, okay, so that's what it is, guys. Let's break down the chart, how we actually came by this, because that's exactly what we want to do in the jiffy, right? Okay, so Audjpy first, this is the daily chart, but let's see what happened on the weekly chart, guys. Now, forex trading strategy, let's go. Okay, so like we said, okay, I will be using this tool. I found something good, guys. Okay, so right here, this was what we noticed, guys. We saw, first off, we saw a very obvious supply zone. Supply zone was formed here. Why was it formed, guys? Okay, so we saw here that the market was actually making a progressive move here. Found this deep, right? And the market made a high, right? And the market made a higher low. As you can see right here, that this is a higher low, right? And the market made a low, right, at this level, making this low right here, right? So this structure was not taking off. But then guess what happened, guys? Now the market came back into the zone, right, forming a new high. Now, as you can see right here, this is what we may see as a kind of W formation, double bottom at this point, right? And then the market trying to push to the upside. And maybe if the market were trending downwards, this formation here, this formation may have, broken the structure to the downside. But then that didn't happen. The market actually, from this point upwards, it then went up, breaking this structure, and went up, breaking this other structure, guys. Okay, so what we then noticed was that as the market went up in this manner, now this is the interesting part. Now, normally, what in a traditional market, right, as this price actually broke the structure, we should have seen something like this, right, to actually gain momentum, and then perhaps price starts making a higher high. Right, now let me take this off. Okay, right, and price starts making a higher high in that manner. But then that didn't happen. What we noticed was that the price went very much bullish. We can see institutional candles, right? The price went very much bullish, right, up to this very point. So at this point here, if you go through the analysis, guys, that we shared, we told you that we shared to everyone that all JPY was overbought, right? So this massive rally to the upside shows an overbought position of odd yen, right? So we started seeing some halts, right, at this point. Right now, this would have been a very sensitive side, but the market actually went here, and you can see that the price was kind of resisting at this point, right? The price was kind of resisting at this level. Okay, so this was what we noticed as the price was resisting on this level, guys. Now this is one more thing. At this point here, this is a sensitive area where I don't like to take entries. Now I want to see some form of massive rejection to the downside before I consider doing anything on the market, right? Okay, so this was what we then noticed, right? Just hold on a bit. Okay, so at this point here, we started seeing rejections, right? Massive rejections. Now these rejections here highlight that this place actually a resistance level for 3 consecutive weeks, guys. These 3 consecutive weeks. So in price action technique, I want to say this is very obvious, right? For most retail traders like yourself and myself, maybe looking to actually sell at this level. Now that is the thing. It's very obvious at this point. So first off, I want to actually see a structure being broken to the upside, and then I want to see the obvious resistance level, taken out, and then seeing price coming back into that zone and taking the structure on the downside to actually give that confidence that this area could be seen as a supply zone or supply area. And then I want to see price perhaps return back into that zone where I can get a further confirmation to go short on the trade, right? So for that confidence, guys, we had this. Let me take this to this side. Okay, so that was exactly what happened here. So we entered this market. I think this analysis was shared somewhere around here, 25th April, right? So 30th April should be the end of this week, right? As against here. Now let's go to the screenshot. Okay, now this was the analysis that was shared on TraderView, and this was a screenshot shared on TradingView, and the video analysis was shared here on the channel, right? Where we even use trend lines to demonstrate, right? And this was where we had that week that closed, and we shared the analysis that on our own thought of view, this was a supply zone here, and this was our first entry, high entry 2, and we shared here. You can see here support level and the weekly demand zone. See where the price was, somewhere around 91.53, which you can clearly see on the chart here too, right? Where we shared that analysis, 91.53, somewhere where the market stopped, right? Somewhere around here. You can obviously see it here, guys. Okay, so no fakery, nothing. You can check the analysis on the channel too. And also this are the zones here, support level right here and weekly demand zone, still clear. Okay, so this was exactly what we saw on the weekly chart, and from this point this move we really didn't see, but we're actually going to go down to actually track what happened right from this level. So just know that when price is actually oversold, rather overbought or oversold, right, at some point you should be expecting some higher retracement to the downside or some form of trend change, right? That could happen, right? Because a whole lot of buyers may want to jump into this price late, and there are a whole lot of market gaps, price imbalances that will be formed along this channel that ought to be filled somehow sooner or later. So let's go to the daily chart, right? And let's see how this trade played out. You can see all the markup set for this. Guys, don't forget to go through the analysis, and don't forget to go through our playlist for the Forex trading strategy, because I think there are 2 Forex trading strategies out there on the channel too as well that we shared, demonstrating, not just demonstrating, guys, not from past results, from demonstrating our performance from the trade, right? And also shared analysis that and how we apply those same things somehow into the market, and we very much apply them here. Okay, so on the daily chart here, this is exactly where it gets interesting, right? You see the price being in an over bought scenario, right? And then even when you use the trend line, you can see price from here making higher highs. Okay, you can see price from here making a high here, right? A higher low. You can see here price made a higher high, right? And price made a higher low, right? Now touching this trend line, and then price went massive rally to the upside. And then when it got to this point here, this was what we noticed. I like to see these significant levels, guys, okay, these significant levels. And when it got to this point here, price actually came down a bit, and that new trend forming, right, came down a bit, and then price broke this level, right, go to this level, and then the price actually broke the structure, making here a kind of structural level. And what we see here is price actually came down to this, back to this level, guys, okay, taking out this resistance level, taking out this resistance level. So the obvious scenario here was we expecting price to go back into this zone, right, our supply zone that was here, back into the structure, and somewhere around here we saw the sales that has actually brought the price down. So guys, most likely our next move could be price actually making a move to this way, right, and further going to the downside, you know, completing this trend, right. But that will be in a long-term scenario, guys. We're going to be looking at the chart. Maybe by the time the week closes, maybe we may consider Audjpy or some other pair that we would like to look for the next week rather. So let me clean this up and then share something very interesting, guys. Okay, so this is exactly how we like to see the chart. So most likely, let me run through it again. You see price making higher highs, right, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and then a massive rally to the upside, guys. Mostly some traders may actually get in here at some point, but you can see very much that the price is actually making these bullish moves to the upside very much rapidly than ever, right? And at some point we expect that buyers may actually lose interest in this market and sellers may come into the market, you know, trying to sell this market, seeing very well that the price has been overbought. Okay, now that's a very good scenario. That's a very good way to look at the market now. Now trend wise, guys, you can see from here how the price actually changed direction, right? Okay, so from this point here, let me bring out the pencil tool once more. Okay, so from this point here, obviously another way I like to look at the chart is very simple. Now I like to look at very basic significant price action candle patterns. Mostly I tell you guys my favorite here is the bullish hammer, right, and the bearish shooting star. I like those fancy candles. Right here you can see one of them, a shooting star, right, and right here you can also see one of them. Okay, this is a kind of shooting star accompanied by kind of evening star formation, but this is a very perfect shooting star candle formation, which I very much like. Okay, now this is the hammer, right? This is a hammer, this is a shooting star. Now these areas are sensitive, right, when I like to look at the price action, or I try to look at smart money concepts or demand and supply trading, because these areas actually form what could be wicker blocks, what could be the RBD. You just have to spot them, right? Just have to spot them on and actually use them to guide the trade, right, to actually know what may happen on higher time frames though. Okay, so let's look at what and how I actually use these candles to spot what may likely happen in the market, or to spot areas that are sensitive. Now follow me, guys, let me take you through this because you may find it very interesting, right? Okay, so let's look at this level here. Let me use the cursor tool, right? Let me use the cursor tool, and forgive me, guys, I've actually not looked at this chart for quite some time. You know, I've just been looking at my phone and seeing how the price, you know, has been doing, right? So it's more like a week or two away from trading view. Okay, so this is how I like to use these setups very much. Yeah, this is how I like to use the setups. Now from here, from this massive rejection, right, to the upside, you can see very much that this was an obvious level, obvious resistance level, right? Price actually rejected here, price first rejected here, and price came here, rejected again. And at this point, definitely with all these movements here, sellers may want to enter the market. So if there are many sellers here, first off, smart money or the banks or institutions will have a whole lot of sell orders here to fill up their buys. So they actually buy this market actually, and then you see this push to the upside. Right now, taking all these buy orders, they have in fact filled their buy orders up to this point, and then, you know, close their positions, perhaps some of their positions and all that. and you find that the sellers may actually be, taking off the market at this point, right? Now, seeing this obvious level here, now seeing that this level has been off, right? A likely scenario would be this, okay? Now, seeing that this price has been off, what some retail traders will be doing will be to maybe perhaps to buy the breakout, right? And then on buying the breakout, you see smart money actually coming here, selling this market again, right? Now, a whole lot of buy orders will be here to fill in their sell orders, and then you see the market dropping down. And this kind of things happen a whole lot of the time to trap traders like you and I. But then, what's the better approach to go about it? It doesn't have to be that simple, yet it isn't that easy, right? It isn't that easy. But so far, we're going to go through it together, and we're going to get better, right? Okay, so this was exactly what we were waiting for. In fact, I entered this trade a couple number of times in the scalping way, right? Actually made some cool profit, but then I was waiting for the massive move, which yes, I in fact did take at some point, right? But this is the interesting part, which I'm going to show you, okay? So now how I like to look at the chart is very kind of cool. It's kind of cool now. I try to look at these regions. These regions could actually react. These regions could actually react. The regions I'm going to highlight right now, right? Okay. So after this level, first off, this spot that I put here, right? Let's make it kind of cool. Okay. This stuff here, right? This trend line here. First off, to see the takeout. So this is an entry, first of all, on its own, right? At this resistance level. Now, no caps. I want to see the break of structure, right? This pin, this is the daily time frame. Remember, I, as a swing trader, guys, first off, I analyze the market off the multi-time frame perspective, right? Most times within the week or for a new month, I look at the monthly chart. So I look at the monthly chart every new month, right? It doesn't have to be every day, but the weekly chart I try to look at every week, right? To see what's happening on the higher time frame, then try to bring it down to the lower time frame so I can understand the direction of the trend better. All right. Okay. So remember, it's Audjpy again, and we're doing a trade review, a trade recap. I'm also sharing Forex strategies here. Okay. So what we want to see is very simple, right? We look at the chart in this manner. So seeing this very obvious price rejection here, right? And it tells that somehow this move may be coming to a halt. Besides, what we're seeing here, control candles, control candles, control candles, control candles, right? And then we saw this small candle here, which is also another area. And then we saw this push, right? So I also want to highlight, first off, I'll be highlighting this area here, and we can see very much that there was a breakout to this point. And after the breakout, guys, we then saw price reacting massively, taking the structure away. Let me clone it. Okay, 1 minute. Just a sec, guys. Let me clone this. Okay. So taking this structure away, and we saw price almost taking this structure away too, right? Right? So this was the closest thing now that could actually happen. Now, this is the period of rest. We want to see the price actually within this range. First, we could actually wait for this market to actually break down to this level, right? For an entry. Or we want to see the price actually make its way back into the zone. Now, guys, don't forget, we're still going to go to the 4-hour time frame to see how this market played out and the confirmation of which we got into this trade again, for the last time. Okay, so it's getting interesting, right? Now we saw that this price, first off, I have this cursor again. So this is what we saw. First, price goes, right? Price goes up to the zone. We see this massive rejection to the downside. Then we see price come down. Price actually comes here. Now, looking at lower time frame or so, what you'll be seeing here is a likely price reaching testing a resistance level multiple times, and you may want to enter, which is not bad. may catch some few pips here, but we can see price actually coming down to this point, and then price takes out this level, takes out this entire structure once again, right? But then what happens? You find a fake out. After price does this, price comes down, takes this level away, right? Take this level away, takes this level away. And then I said this even in the analysis that, oh, with this movement, Audjpy could be changing directions, right? We actually shared this. Now, what we want to wait is for price to actually get into this level. Now, this is the cool stuff, right? Okay. So let me take this out so we have a clear chart. Okay. Now, after price does this, guys, what do we notice? Now we notice that the price here, it's been bullish. So either of this way, guys, I want to see price go back into this level, right? Now, these are the zones I actually look at. Cool stuff, okay? First, this area is the demand zone. First off, right? This area is a demand zone. We want to see smart money movements inside these zones, right? That's why we're going to delve onto the lower time frame, right? Like the 4-hour. But then this is a level to watch. Why is it a level? I'm going to explain shortly. Okay? This is a level to watch. Now, this is the bar. This is the bar. Right? First, some persons say, okay, fine, this could be like a breakout block or some way. But then I like to look at it this way. I look for significant price action candlestick patterns, guys. My favorite are the pin bar, right? Either the shooting star or the hammer. Because right here, what we see is that after this control candle, you find this market here, and you see that the buyers are still pushing the price upwards. And then we find this kind of move here, and there is a breakout. So this candle can as well serve as a level to watch. Now, this is another level too that should be watched. Right here. This little space here. You see how very much that price is reacting kind of on this side, right? And then this obvious level which formed a zone here. So let's see what we have on the 4-hour chart, guys. Okay. Clearly, this is exactly what it looks like. Okay. This is exactly what it looks like, right? Okay. Now price started here. Obviously, price started here. These are the levels we have, and you can see that even from here, you see this move, price action patterns, kind of going up to this zone, coming down, going up, and then this smart candle, breaking out, right? This breakout here at this point, and then price comes back to this zone, right? And at this point, this is the very interesting part. This is the part where I like to look at the chart. This is the interesting part, the 4-hour chart. Now, this is exactly what happened. Forgive me, guys, but I want to zoom in so we look in closer. Okay. Now, these are the significant levels, guys. Okay. This is exactly what happens in the chart. Now, at some point, remember I highlighted here. This is the area where I highlighted here from the analysis that we could be watching this level, right, for an entry, right, at this level, because what we saw here was that the price after this move, the closest price that we actually saw that was close to the breakout, right? After this, the price actually broke this obvious structure here from the downside where there was a change of character surely. And the price came downwards, breaking this structure, right? And at this point, this was the closest level that we're looking at. And this is the candle. This is another candle too. You can check the analysis and see how I lighted it, right? So we don't waste much of your time, right? But this was the smart money move. This was a very bold move, which was highlighted, right? This candle is find the green candle here being almost engulfed, right, by this control candle here. And then by Monday, the price is actually consolidating at this area. So guys, guess what? I got an entry somewhere where the price was around here. I think I pretty much scalped on the second day on Tuesday, somewhere around here, right? But then it didn't hold for long, so of course I got off the trade. Okay, so after price got into this level, I was actually watching this level now, but then this was where I got into the market. So I saw this, I didn't see this early enough, but I actually saw that this structure was taken out, and then I saw this candle. After I saw this candle, guys, I waited. Honestly, I waited. So after this control candle, I got into this market here. Trust me, not my bad. I got into this market myself. I got into this market here, right? And then after I got into this market here, that was where I left it, right? And I think I took a take profit here, around here. But then, before the market closed, I saw this move here. When I saw this move, I was kind of impressed that the market was going to do wonders, right? But I actually wasn't on Audjpy then. Rather, I traded Aud USD, which, okay, let me leave that now, because Aud USD is a trade that somehow we're still going to be looking into that analysis again. We're still going to be, sharing that with you guys here, for the future. Perhaps one of the analysis, if the conditions are met, one of the trades we may likely be looking at for next week, right? Owing to the fact that we're still going to be sharing very much interesting fundamentals about the USD, guys. Okay, so that was exactly what happened in the market, right? And you can see here another very interesting price action pattern, right, on the 4-hour chart, and confirming it got to this level that we marked here. But then, ooh, we have a lot of, okay, I have to take a whole lot of this off. Damn, I have to take a whole lot of this off. Okay, so this was exactly what happened on the chart. Okay, so seeing here kind of looks cool. So let me take out some of these lines and let's see if we can digest a little thing again. Okay, all right, let me take this out. Sure. So what do we see in the future for the Audjpy? That's the Australian dollar, the Japanese yen. Guys, I could pretty well say this market, this price may be reaching for this level. I saw something very interesting on the 4-hour. Okay, I could pretty well say this market is heading for a structure around here, or maybe here, right? Or maybe here, for it to continue downwards, because what I see in this market is this. Definitely there could be some form of rally around here, maybe half of this 4-hour candle here, or half of this weekly candle somewhere around here. And then I still want to see some bearish moves to the downside, right? Still want to see some bearish moves to the downside, owing that at this point that the Australian dollar is actually falling against the Japanese yen. Could actually say from the fundamental perspective that it's a commodity based currency. Yeah, that's the Australian dollar itself, and risk sentiments could be low risk, right? Most lot of investors, like a whole lot of investors, sentimentally may want to be holding safe haven currencies, right? And the Japanese yen is one of those currencies. And technically, we can see that the price actually changing directions. This is the way I actually analyze my charts on TradingView. But then, guys, I'm kind of excited. Okay, kind of in the mood. So let's hit. I hope you guys who are joining the channel, I hope you subscribe to the channel, guys. If not, you're missing. And also turn on notification bell so you get notified each and every time we share either weekly forex market analysis on the forex market, or we share forex trading strategies with you, or we share market outlook. Whichever one, guys, subscribe to the Millionaire Logistics channel and let's make a team. Okay, now in addition to that, guys, we have a Telegram group which is very much open, and we also be hosting meetings there, like live Zoom meetings and all that, and details shall be shared, or details are already being shared on the Telegram group, so we can as well get to know each other, get to connect and ask questions, get to interact more on the chat. Okay, now this is the little we can tell from Audjpy, guys, and clearly enough, we're still going to be bringing up a weekly forex market analysis the coming week. Hope you guys learned something from what we shared. However, let's go through it one more time. Okay, now for the Aud yen, which we have here, guys. Okay, so looking at it from the higher time frame, we can see that the market is actually changing sentiments to the downside. So slowly we want to see the market actually make higher lows, lower lows, higher lows, lower lows from this point. That means something like this. Now we've seen that the market has pretty much broken the structure, right? So we want to see this market clearly making higher lows, lower lows, higher lows, lower lows, higher lows, lower lows. Perhaps this level, right? This level. And if the market permits, maybe depending on the fundamentals that may come in, you may actually see the market dropping further, or in that dimension. So hope you guys had fun. Millionaire logistics freshers, and we'll be seeing you in our next coming content. Okay, have fun.